Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet is not even out yet, and they're already sweeping for the game, trying to make excuses. Now, Neil Druckmann is at the center of this whole controversy with his woke designs of this disgustingly ugly character, and of course with the voice actress who plays her, who's this incredible, crazy Antifa activist who's pushing identity politics through everything as well. It's very clear what's going on with Naughty Dog and with the Intergalactic Heretic Prophet. This is another just tediously expensive, bloated game that is being built on the backs of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is not going to be fun whatsoever and is going to be a laughingstock when it actually comes out. And so here's his response to the latest backlash. Let's get into the news in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button and join us here. We broke the story of what this plot is going to be at the game very early on. You can go back and find my video on that. It is a train wreck of a plot for a science fiction book or a video game. And if they wanted help with that, I would have helped them. They should have hired me, of course, to write the plot for this game. They might have a better thing going for it. This is my series. It's called Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. It's crusading in space. It'd make a great video game. My whole Nano Templar deal could be ported into an open world, beautiful video game. If somebody wants to help me with that, I'd love to license this out, work on it with you guys, whatever it is. But it's good stuff. It's in the description below. If you like a lot of fun action adventure, this is going to be the book for you. It's a 3-book trilogy, and you can get all of it on ebook, print, and audio. Thanks for supporting and reading, my friends. Really appreciate you for being here. So, Naughty Dog president Neil Druckmann responded to the backlash against the company's upcoming game, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. What a guy right there. Naughty Dog announced Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet back in December at the Game Awards with the announcement trailer that, of course, lit up the room at the time. The trailer that immediately received negative feedback, with its receiving over 250,000 dislikes in just 2 weeks after it premiered on the PlayStation YouTube channel. Oof, painful. Naughty Dog turned off comments for it because they know exactly what they've done here. Not only did the trailer get hundreds of thousands of dislikes, but the players expressed their dislikes. They said, I like the part in the trailer when the protagonist said it's Concording time, or it's her laser sword, and Concord's the alien monster. Sponsored by modern audiences. I just want to thank Sony for making it obvious no buy with the character design. I'm glad I won't be wasting money on that kind of bait and switch. They showed the garbage up front instead of trying to hide it. Oof. In response to comments like these, Tati Gabrielle, the nutjob actress who is the protagonist, posted this fan art here showing, of course, Ciri as the Witcher and then her character sipping through transgender straws. Very weird. Incel tears, some fragile masculinity, and so DEI-licious with the comment, and this is her comment, you mad, bro. Now, of course, she's already started the train where she's complaining about harassment and the like after she purposefully goes out there and agitates fans. What a bad idea to do this kind of thing. You would expect that, like, at some point they'd figure out how to not do things. She's been given media training since this post by Neil Druckmann because I guess they need training not to make stupid commentary like this and lash out at fans. That's the world we live in. You'd think it's a very easy thing. I don't understand it, my friends. It's so simple. Like I've seen, as an artist, you get a lot of positive comments for the most part, but you get some negative comments on some things. And so, that happens from time to time. And you just, you don't have to, of course, agitate all fans in your responses. It's not that hard. But Druckmann shared his own thoughts now about the backlash during a new appearance on his Sacred Symbols podcast. He said, I don't know if there's much I can add to the conversation, to be honest. There's stuff happening right now with the media that you have to, I feel, ignore for the most part and just stick to your guns and do what you believe in. And I feel that's how I would want artists to carry themselves. Pretty interesting. Now, this isn't just like somebody's like little backwater art project. This is like a Naughty Dog AAA game with big corporate funding and the like. It is a franchise they want to launch, and it's pretty crazy to do that on this level. Not only that, but you look at this and they talk about ignoring and sticking to your guns. A lot of the influencers I see in this space these days have really pivoted. They rode the anti-woke train to build their channels and the like. And some of them pivoted to doing drama and just like making their channels into real stupidity. You know who I'm talking about. Some of them have pivoted to just, I'm just going to cover games I like. And some of them like just kind of have backed off of the culture war and the things like that. But the culture war hasn't changed. People like Neil Druckmann are still in charge of all of these video games. They're still in charge of these hundreds of millions of dollars that are getting funneled through these companies. And they do just want to stick to their guns and do what they believe in. Now, they might be a little more cautious about the way they're framing things, about the way they're marketing things. They might be getting media training now to do things a little differently and try to distance themselves from the fans so that they're not right in the faces like they have been before. The marketing aspects are changing, but they're not changing what they're doing to these video games. Every single one of these big studios is doing the exact same thing they were doing last year. The election did not change things. It did not slow things down. It did not slow down the woke. There's still 50% of the country that's a freaking amount of nut jobs out there. You guys got to stay vigilant, and we are doing so here. I'm glad. We have a great fan base, and I appreciate you guys for being here. So that's where the overall global culture is at, and these people are madder than ever because they lost, and they don't feel like they should have lost, and so they're getting dangerous at this point is really what they're getting behind the scenes. I mean, we've seen it with just the crazy leftist attacks on like the Israeli embassy the other day. I mean, this is how far they're going. These people do not care, and they do believe that might makes right. They believe that their violence will overcome any sort of like logical, ideological differences. That's who these people are at the end of the day. They believe, I saw Alyssa Mercante posting that, anybody who's racist or misogynistic or whatever should be deplatformed from YouTube. And it's like, wow. I mean, this is crazy stuff, and that's what they want. They want us all dead, and you got to remember that this is not just whether to buy an $80 game or not. This is funding these people's political activism is what it comes down to. So he said, you know how this works. I can't tell when we're going to announce a show or something. I could just say I'm very excited for this game, maybe as excited for any game. It's very cool. In the deepest gameplay we've ever done, I can't wait to show it off. So like I said, this reeks of media training right here. This is not the way that Neil Druckmann was talking 6 months ago. And he's talked about putting Tati Gabrielle into media training. I'm very, very sure that Naughty Dog is now hiring consultants who are bringing people out and saying, here's the way you have to talk on podcasts. Here's how you have to act on social media. Because what he says right here, there's nothing to latch on to now. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited as I've been for any game. It's very cool. The deepest gameplay. He says nothing. Those are all words that are completely meaningless. Oh wow! I always see this like on book covers. You know how they have those like famous author book blurbs, and and it's like it'll be like Bob Smith's like Mech Mountain, as a science fiction book, and it'll have a quote from like Neil Gaiman on it, and it'll be like rip roaring riveting fun, and it's like, he didn't read the book. That's what this kind of reminds me of as a marketing tactic right here. Ridiculous stuff. And so that's where I think they're moving at this point. They are changing their marketing tactics intentionally. Now, they are SJWs, and they are frustrated. And as this is clear that it's not going to be a success, because it's not, and as it's clear it's going to fail, they're going to move from this like, I'm excited about the game, like sort of generic corporate speak, to a sort of tactic where they try to play victim. They say that they're the victim of toxic gamers and toxic this or that, and they're going to start blaming you as this goes along. We've already seen with Tati Gabrielle how she's already starting to say that she's being harassed and things like that, and they're going to try to make themselves a cause in order to get this game to sell, because they're not going to be able to sell it on its own merits. That's what's coming up next, and it's predictable because I've seen this trend over and over and over, and that's exactly what Logic is. It's seeing trends, it's predicting patterns, and it's seeing how these people are going to go. And we know one thing from the way that culture's always gone. SJWs always lie. SJWs always double down, and SJWs always project, and that's exactly what we're going to find from Naughty Dog president Neil Druckmann as this goes right along. I could be wrong. I'll ask him if he'd like to come on an interview for the channel. Let's see how he does here. But they won't, of course. We know how that goes. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and please check out Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. This is great science fiction action adventure crusading in space. You're going to love it. In the description below. Thank you for being here. We'll be back soon.